I told you it was possible, and look what happened. Another choke job by DJU. College football is back, and week 0 was no disappointment whatsoever. I would even argue this is a preview of what's to come in the next few weeks. I will go even as far to say this is the best season since 2007. Florida State and their fans traveled all the way from Tallahassee to catch an L from the program that has owned them in the past decade. With a game-winning field goal by Aiden Burr, he missed one earlier in the game, but did America a favor by upsetting the number 10 team in the nation, so-called number 10. We all know Florida State isn't a top 10 team, and this game just proved we were right all along. So thank you, Aiden Burr, American hero here. We salute you for your service. And I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun watching this game. This is the most fun I've ever had watching a week 0 game, ever. And if you're a Seminole fan, you've got to be worried. You've heard all season the team was fired up for being left out of the playoff last year, and they come out flat. Terrible look for Mike Norvell and the program that he's built. This game was a kick fest as well, with FSU's kicker breaking personal records, kicking at 51, 59-yard field goals, and Georgia Tech kicking a game-winning field goal. And after that first drive of the game, I was getting a little worried this may be a blowout. Thankfully, Haynes King didn't waste any time going down the field and scoring, with the backup coming in, running it straight in the end zone. And also, Haynes King played incredible. NFL scouts are definitely looking for him for a possible roster spot. DJU has some big problems, went from Clemson to Oregon State and now Florida State, and each team he's played at, he sucked. Florida State fell for what I call the DJU hype. Not that he played absolutely terrible, but it's just like he didn't seem too comfortable throwing downfield much, and also missed a couple of wide open opportunities and plays. So I guess you can call that terrible. If I was an NFL scout, I would definitely be worried about that. He's transferred to all these new teams, all these new offenses, coaches, and everything, and it just hasn't worked out at any of them. That's definitely a red flag if you're an NFL scout. And obviously this is easy to say this from watching on my couch on TV while he's actually on the field putting in the work and throwing these footballs. And, you know, I'm just a dude with a mic posting on YouTube. Obviously it's easy for me to say this, but he sucked. And the Seminoles' playoff chances definitely have decreased. Again, I would be worried if you're a Florida State fan. This may hurt to hear, but no one wants to see you guys make the playoffs. And just like last year, we've seen how terrible the so-called undefeated ACC champs were, and there's a reason why they left you out. And it's a rough schedule from here. It seems like Mike Norvell has lost the locker room. Looking forward, Boston College on Monday night. I am now worried about that if you're a Florida State fan. I hope it's a close game, and I hope Boston College wins. Why? Because we love chaos here in college football land. And if I was a poll voter, you guys would not be ranked after this week. I swear if Florida State is ranked, these poll voters got to go. Make me a poll voter. I bet I can make a top 25 better than 90% of the poll voters they got. And they also got to play SMU, a new conference foe. Very underrated SMU team. That offense is very deadly and could be a problem in the ACC this year. They also got to play Clemson, and Clemson is looking like a new ACC favorite this year because of what happened today on the field in Ireland. They also have to play Miami, and the Canes are another ACC conference favorite. So it's looking like Clemson and Miami are the two favorites right now. They also got to play Notre Dame at the end of the season and Florida. Don't get me wrong, Florida has sucked recently, but I feel like they can improve this year. If you see their schedule, they got to play 9 ranked teams. Should be 8 now because Florida State, you know. Don't overlook Florida when they have a 5-6 record going into the Florida State game. They have the toughest schedule in all of the nation, so that could be a very good game there at the end. If you're looking at the schedule, does Florida State make the playoffs? I will be worried if I'm a Florida State fan. You know, you're going to the season thinking, we're probably going to win the conference. It's going to be a little rough, but we could definitely do it. We're the ACC favorite. We should get a bye, and we should go far. We should have a deep playoff run. Coming into week 0, totally flatline. Now you're a little lost. So my question to you is, does Florida State make the playoffs? I do not know. I feel like after today, sure, they're going to improve every week, but after today, I feel like they lose to Clemson, Miami. Now, Miami has a lot of question marks, but I do see them doing pretty well. I think they beat Notre Dame. I think they beat SMU, and that Florida game has a lot of question marks, but I wouldn't doubt Florida winning that game. Now, Florida State, I don't see them making the playoff any longer. I don't even want to see them in the playoff. I know how disappointing they'll be. Just Florida State going in to a playoff game just doesn't sound right, and I'll just cringe at it. And I'm not taking away from Georgia Tech's win, but Florida State just flat out sucked today. They should make a bowl game this year, obviously. They do have a rough schedule as well, but they finished the season last year with a 7-6 record, and like 80-90% of their offense has returned from last year to this year. So there should be no problems with Georgia Tech. They should have like 6, 7, maybe even 8 wins this season. Should be a decent Georgia Tech team and a team to watch out for. And Haynes King is a baller. If I was Florida State, I would be worried about that offensive line. It was getting blown up, and Georgia Tech was owning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They were bullying the offensive line of Florida State, keeping that defensive line from Florida State contained. They were protecting Haynes King. There wasn't many sacks. Haynes King did have a couple fumbles here and there and miscues, but overall Georgia Tech played great. But at the end of the day, Florida State sucks, and I really hope they don't make the playoff. Am I hating on Florida State? Yeah, I really am, because they shouldn't be a top 10 team. We all know this. Very overrated. Just like Notre Dame. I feel like Notre Dame is also another overrated team. I hope they don't make the playoff either. Will they? Probably. They probably will. Just like Florida State, they probably will. Florida State will probably win 10, 11 games this year. That's just who Florida State is. They do this. And they have 3 bye weeks this year, so it might not be a problem for them. They might just easily make the playoff, which sucks, but we are forced to see it. Moving forward, we got week 1 next week. Got Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Should be a fun game. That's College Game Day's pick of the week. We also have LSU USC on Sunday night. We have Penn State West Virginia. That's the most underrated game this week. I expect you guys to be all watching that after you watch a few drives of Georgia versus Clemson at noon and realize, oh yeah, Georgia's going to run away with this, so you turn the game. You should be watching Penn State and West Virginia. Unless your team's playing, obviously. My team plays on Thursday, Woo Pig. That should be a blowout. I'm not going to make a video on Arkansas and Arkansas Pine Bluff unless Arkansas gets somehow upset. But yeah, week 1 is very underrated. I'm very excited because week 0 was not a disappointment. I'm very excited for the season. College football is finally back. Very excited for what's to come. I see this being the best season since 2007. And if you don't know, 2007 was a huge year with a lot of upsets. A team who won the national championship, LSU, they lost like 2 or 3 games. Like, it was insane. It was such a bizarre year, and I feel like we're going to have a year like that this year. I hope we can enjoy it together on this channel. I also have a Twitter. Go follow that. We could discuss this season on there or in the comments. So yeah, I'm looking forward for the season to watch with you guys. Should be fun. If you haven't already, go hit that subscribe button. We will be talking about football each and every week, obviously. Comment your opinions if you want. I respond to most comments. And just like always, guys, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.